Hello, everybody. My name is Michael DeJoy, and welcome to the number one best trader fall competition week 2 review. Just want to get started and jump right in. My name is Michael DeJoy. I'm the Director of Educational Services here at DAS Trader, and we're going to jump right in and talk about the week of November 13th to November 17th. This is our ranking analysis. We changed things up a little bit this time, and what we've done here, and I'm just going to go through this and walk us through how we kind of review the analysis for this week. We can see by the way that we've changed our results analysis screen that best 320 is killing it week 1 and week 2. You can see week 1 totals, 27,404. Week 2, staying consistent, $23,720. Not quite as good as last week, but solidly more profit in a week than anybody else in total. So best 320, as long as you don't screw it up, and you keep going the way you're going right now, if you can keep up this consistency, you are our number one best trader. Now let's jump down in the ranks. We're going to go to best 1,003, $7,600 week 1, almost doubling it, not quite doubling, but with $12,049. I mean, amazing increase, almost a 90% increase in profitability week over week. Yet, neither of those 2 weeks are anywhere close to best 320, who is just like head and shoulders above the rest. Best 987 with $2,656 week 1. Get this, 400%, just under 400% increase week 3, week 2, $10,407, bringing in third place, nearly catching up, but not quite, to our number 2 runner-up for number 1 best trader, but number 2 man in the overall rankings. Best 1,003, still not quite there, but if you keep it up, best 987, you are in pole position to take the number 2 spot, as long as you can kind of keep some of this consistency. Now, Mr. Consistency, in and of himself, best 1067, really just continuing. I would say that number 3 is a 300% increase. Number 4 is just basically riding the earnings from week 1. And then, of course, we have best 1,078, who, blasts on the scene into 5th place. And then we have best 1075, adding a little bit to their profitability. But you can see all these are the people that are in from number 5 all the way down to the 10th position. There's a little bit of sway, but for the most part, they're trading kind of in a standard trading format. You have some very, very large gains going on in the upper 3 positions. Certainly between number 2 is the biggest weekly winner this week, and then best number 3 very close behind, but very, very good as well. So the gain for the week of week 2 is $7,500, or just about $7,000. The number 2 spot, he's up about $6,000 for the week. 320 lost some money on the week, but certainly is just so far ahead from week 1. They are still in pole position. So it would take it's totally still anybody's game, meaning that best 320, because of the amount of risk they're taking, could blow it. And best 1003 may not be able to overtake best 320 if they don't blow it. If they don't screw up, best 1003 is in a good spot to potentially overtake best 320. Best 987, if they stay consistent, and if either of these two other competitors if they screw up, it could be anybody's game. Now, our next best, it doesn't even look like this person traded at all, which I believe that's going to start to come into being a factor at some point. We need to trade during the competition. But certainly, we have a couple of people that are kind of waiting in the wings in case these top three screw up. But certainly the numbers are still very good. But drastically, I would say that number 2 and number 3 did absolutely phenomenal this second week of the competition. So with that all being said, I commend everybody on all of their trading, and certainly consistency is key, as it's shown in every competition we've ever done. Next, top stocks traded this week. We have LIFW. LIFW is kind of low priced, medium priced, kind of not the biggest float in the world. AIRE, another kind of I'd say popper and dropper in the $11 range. And then, you can see that LIFW is the big one for Monday. AIRE, which we're going to take a look at, was certainly up there a couple of times. AMD, by far the most commonly traded stock in the number one best traded competition, perpetuity, for perpetuity. It's always on the top 5 list, every competition. Obviously, Gap had some news and popped onto the scene for a little while. And of course, SGD, a low pricer, under $5, limited margin capability, but certainly it's one of those that kind of skirts the $5 range. So we're going to jump in and take a look at some of these stocks. Let me just share my screen. All right, so here we are, taking a look at my my S&P. I mean, we kind of had a boring week this week. We gapped up and stayed up, floating on hot air here, as the competition went on. I mean, we've been in this is almost an astronomical rally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Some of the excellent P&L that we've seen is due to the fact that we've been in a 2-week massive market rally. So the competition's been on for 10 trading days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 trading days. The market's been up, way up for 10 trading days, consistently going higher and or being somewhat boring. Let's go and take a look at the Qs. Qs, similar story. Let's take a look at LIFW. Pretty much just a popper and dropper, medium price stock. Makes this attractive for people to sling around, a few thousand shares at a time. It's right above the $5 range. That automatically puts it onto the people onto the traders' watch list because it is in that magic number. The AIRE. Let's take a look at this on the intraday chart, just because it's kind of been melting. I mean, it went as high as $15. Today, it pretty much melted all day, but in the beginning of the week, it was popping and dropping and breaking out. Again, that price range from, just above $5 to the $15 range makes it super attractive for our number one best trader competitors to trade. AMD, as we know, everybody loves to trade it. Incredibly liquid, fairly fast mover when it's going. Big gap up on Tuesday, fade down, big gap fade, and then rally back up to the upper range. Gap was a huge gapper today. Gap was a gapper. A little bit of irony there, but a big gap up, held the gap. A gap from $13 to that 1650 range, and it held up and it held the gap. So amazing gap on gap, or GPS as the symbol goes. The last one is SGD. SGD, again, breakout from the lowest of low regions. Was 75 cents, 65 cents 2 days ago. Gets up to 850, and it's pulled back since then to 425. Right now, it's trading at 490, 485. It's just one of these poppers and droppers. People love to trade them. I will say that we've seen that people have made a lot of money and blown up their number one best trader account playing these stocks. Sometimes they have a tendency to move against you. So just caution on these stocks. We've seen as many competitors disappear from the competition as we have seen competitors that have won the competition on these stocks. So let's just go through and take a quick look at some of the things that we always mention. It's always helpful reminders when in the competition to remember that you need to be going through a constant set of analysis. You want to make sure you review your strategy regularly. Have you been successful with your strategy? You're 2 weeks into the competition now. If you're going to make a change, next week is the Thanksgiving short week. If you're going to make a change, you probably want to do so now. You only got 2 weeks left. What have you learned? What mistakes have you made? Big reminder, everybody, overnights are not allowed. And tomorrow is the last day that, basically today, actually, it's not tomorrow, but today is the last day. If you have not traded by today, Friday, you will be disqualified. So you need to trade in order to be the number one best trader. That kind of goes without saying. So if you've been successful, try to expound upon what's working. If you've made mistakes, try to identify them and eliminate them. Look at what you've learned so far in the competition, and certainly it is anybody's competition still, as we've seen some big gains, some big losses. There was there was a $16,000 swing in one day. A guy lost just about 10,000. That was best 320. Lost 10,000, only ended up being up around 12, 13,000, flattening out or just reducing the loss for the week. So there are some big trading moves going on here. It is still anybody's competition, and I commend you all on giving it your best to being the best trader. Stay up to date with all things DAS by signing up to our monthly newsletter email. Simply fill out the form at the bottom of our webpage, DAStrader.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, DAS Trader TV, and the DAS Newsroom Reminders. Follow us on social media at DAS on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Trade well, everybody. See you next week, and happy Thanksgiving to all.